Coming up on AgweekTV, it's the only one of its kind in the nation. A new genotyping lab is opening on the NDSU campus. We'll tell you how it will help farmers and agribusinesses. Soon, North Dakotans will be voting on whether to ease laws against corporate farming in the state. Jonathan Knutson shares his thoughts on Measure 1. And for the first time, North Dakota farmers can grow hemp. We'll update you on the pilot program. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Shauna Olson. It's the first of its kind in the nation. A new ag lab has opened on the NDSU campus. It's called the National Ag Genotyping Center, but they quickly found out that companies and farmers need much more than that. They need many other technologies and traits tested for with fast results. So the lab needed to quickly expand its capabilities before it even opened.
It's just a great thing for North Dakota.
North Dakota beat out 7 other states vying for the lab. It cost about $5 million to set up, much of that raised by the North Dakota Corn Growers, the North Dakota Soybean Council, and Northern Ag Development.
It's called the National Ag Genotyping Center because that's what it started as. We were going to just do genotyping. But we quickly found out that companies and farmers need much more than just genotyping. They need many other technologies and traits tested for, and they want us to do that also. So that is a little change for us. They've wanted us to expand very quickly into a lot of new areas.
The lab is a partnership between the National Corn Growers Association and the Los Alamos National Lab. Corn was the first genome to be mapped, but they soon discovered that there were many more uses for their technology and equipment.
As long as they can develop an assay here, or a test here for any diseases, it can be used in all over. We'll eventually have a small handheld tester, and each individual farmer can then buy a test kit that will somehow be administered by this handheld device that will then tell you what diseases you might have in your corn plant, for example, if you tested a leaf.
About half the lab's work will always be genotyping, but there's also high demand for tests for DNA, proteins, nitrogen, and several other things, including diseases like chronic wasting, mad cow, and scrapie. Most importantly, they can test live animals before diseases spread through a herd.
Our lab is here to be a resource for the producers to have a place to go to get the questions that they need answered. So we're here to fulfill that need for the farmers, the producers, other companies, and clients, whether it's animals, plants, or a combination of the two.
Larry Hoffman is on the center's executive committee. He got involved through his work on the Corn Growers Association, and just a couple of months in, he's already calling it a success. But there's lots of potential for growth.
I don't think it can be a value put on it. I think it's that valuable. What it can do potentially for the area and the ability to speed up diagnostic processes in all areas is just phenomenal.
For Ag Week, this is Mikkel Pates.
The lab is located in one of the USDA Agricultural Research Service labs on the NDSU campus at 1605 Albrecht Boulevard. If you'd like to take a look, they're holding an open house on June 21st from 12:30 to 4 p.m. It's taken several years and thousands of dollars, but a North Dakota farmer has won his battle against the federal government over field work near a wetland. Leonard Peterson, who farms in Lemoore County, was accused of violating the Swamp Buster law in 2009. Swamp Buster is a national law that prohibits farm program payments if farmers drain wetlands to plant crops on them. Peterson maintains he was just trying to cross fields safely during a wet period, and he took his case to federal court and won. The government took more than $500,000 from him for payments they say he wasn't eligible for after the alleged conversion of wetlands.
They were on a I'm going to show you mission, because I kicked them out of my field, and they were going to show me that you do not do that to them.
In the end, the court ruled that the USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service had improperly denied him benefits for converting a wetland. Even with the repayment, Peterson still estimates his loss at more than $100,000. He says the lesson for everyone is to get everything in writing. They're almost done planting in Ramsey County in east central North Dakota. NDSU Extension Agent Bill Hodes joins us now to check on the conditions there. Hi, Bill. How much planting do you guys have left in your county?
We are still having about 15% of our area left to plant. We had producers that were waiting because of the dry conditions, and then we had producers that still have some edible beans to plant that don't want to start too early. So about 15% is still left to plant in our area here.
Are you seeing more or less corn acres in your area this year?
We've got more corn than we probably ever had. I would say on an average, we could probably think about 15 to 20% more acres of corn than what we've had in the last 2-3 years. So, yeah, our corn acres are up significantly.
How about soybean acres?
Our bean acres are up. Primarily what happened there was there wasn't going to be more acres, but because the soybean market rose like it did here a month ago, month and a half, that created a lot of interest. And of course, again, they're able to lower input costs without some nitrogen and nutrient costs. So there was a lot of shift back from edible beans, some barley, maybe some canola to soybeans again to try to accommodate that part of their farming business.
All right, NDSU Extension Agent Bill Hodes, thanks for joining us today. The sunflowers are off to a good start at CHS Sunflower in Grandin, North Dakota. Agronomist Sean Gelbert says the crop is looking good. Planting was early this year. Gelbert says the seeds went into the ground about 5 to 7 days earlier than normal. He says a majority of the sunflowers will be shipped overseas this year.
Our acres this year are down because of our supply demand. We have such a supply. So our acres are down. We actually, some varieties we didn't even plant. So we have different varieties that we plant during the season. For the season, and we planted 3 of those, 3 of the 6 or 5 we have.
Gelbert says they're getting some good, timely rains in the Grandin area.
Right here, I think we're probably right around that 1.5 to 2 inches. You go further west, we've heard up to 3 inches. South Dakota, where some of our acres are, they've been kind of wet on and off all season. So our late planting, we're going to have a little bit of later planting down there, but it should still be pretty close to normal. Okay. But around here, we needed the rain for sure. It was getting dry.
CHS also uses sunflowers for birdseed, which is shipped throughout the United States. Honey beehive losses are up in South Dakota. The NDSU Extension Service says a national survey found that beehive losses in the state totaled 45% in the past year. That's up from 40% the year before. Several things are being blamed for hive losses, including weather, parasites, pathogens, and pesticides. South Dakota is the second leading honey production state behind North Dakota. Survey shows honey beehives are up in North Dakota. The first hemp is being planted in North Dakota. We'll give you an update on the pilot program.
How did we become the region's largest independent seed company? By taking a very simple but powerful stand. We will sell no seed that we wouldn't be happy to plant on our own farm. Peterson Farm Seed. Stand tall.
Add a little smoky goodness to dinner tonight with a Traeger wood pellet grill from Home of Economy, where we've turned Father's Day into Father's Month by offering up to $100 rebate on select Traeger wood pellet grills. Simply flip the switch and set the temp to grill, smoke, or bake all your favorite foods with perfectly controlled heat from the most versatile grill on the market. Traeger.
Home of Economy, where your dollar buys more.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Agweek magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Agweek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted, Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Total Ag Industries is the leader in total control. Their custom-built fertilizer systems are the crown jewel of the Total Ag lineup. Total Ag systems come with a fully customizable fill system, and the variable rate hydraulic drive system works with John Deere displays for real-time feedback and complete fertilizer monitoring. Total Ag's field-tested design allows precise control and accurate application in your fields for better yields and more profit. Contact Total Ag by phone or visit totalag.com.
They're making history at one family farm in Lemoore County. For the first time ever, a handful of farmers in North Dakota can raise industrial hemp. A provision in the 2014 Farm Bill gives authority to state departments to grow it for research purposes. We found a farmer who jumped at the chance to be part of the state's program. When Jamie Edwards applied to be part of the North Dakota Department of Ag's Industrial Hemp Pilot Program, he was surprised at the amount of paperwork.
We had to go through background checks and fingerprints and get DEA licenses to even handle it and have it around.
Jamie and his dad farm about 25 miles south of Jamestown.
I'll go check them.
Only 4 farmers in the entire state were selected for the program. Jamie and his dad are 2 of the 4.
And so we're growing almost half of it for the state of North Dakota right here.
Wow.
So that's kind of exciting all in itself.
Jamie says with all the products hemp can be turned into, it could be a big boost for North Dakota growers in the future.
There's like 25,000 different products, from lotions to cosmetics and biofuels and boards. The list goes on and on.
I like your attitude though. You're excited about this.
I am excited about this. I did a lot of research in college on it, and when they said there was a program coming out, I kind of wanted in on the ground floor, see if we can get a new crop into the state.
Raising it for the first time does come with challenges.
The biggest thing is, nobody knows anything. It's all speculation.
Industrial hemp is grown in Canada. That's where the seed came from, and that's where Jamie is getting some good tips.
The Canadians have been really helpful.
He and his dad each get to plant 15 acres.
So it's really kind of a touchy seed, and you got to handle it real careful. It's really small, so it's a little challenging to figure out to get the drill set right to plant the right rate. We have a chart that's close, but nobody lists hemp.
The state wants the seed planted between 3/4 to an inch deep, so they used a roller first to make it easier.
It's a really light seed, and so you get windy days and it's not in very deep, but I'm very afraid of it blowing away. Right now we don't have a lot to waste, so it's hard to come by. When we're setting it, we usually make a round or so and then try to dig down and find any, but the seed is so small that I don't know if we can find any, and so that's been kind of a challenge in itself.
Oh, there's one.
Oh, you found one.
I should put it back.
Yeah, yeah, let's put it back in there. Maybe that'll be the one that grows.
They planted the seed in 3 different spots to find out what works best. The plots are all marked and the GPS coordinates are all logged with the DEA. What do your neighbors say? Do your neighbors know you're doing this?
Yeah, they're all like, you're growing pot.
No, it's cousin, right?
Yes, it's a cousin. So then I gotta explain, no, there's no THC in it.
They plan to harvest the hemp in late August or early September. Jamie says Healthy Oilseeds in Carrington has expressed interest in buying their hemp. We plan to follow Jamie's progress throughout the summer and through harvest, so stay tuned for updates. After a dry start, some around the region are complaining of too much rain. Your AgriWeather outlook for the week is up next. And later, Jonathan Knutson shares his thoughts on whether Measure 1 will help or hurt North Dakota family farms.
I look down the line and I see every step this window goes through and the people that help create it. I love working with a team that truly cares about helping make true Minn Kota windows.
North Country Marketing is your weed and mosquito control headquarters, carrying the Easy Rider ATV mounted sprayer, pull type ATV sprayers, 3-point sprayers with 6-foot to 30-foot booms, utility vehicle mounted sprayers, 48-inch pull type weed rollers, and the new 72-inch model. We also carry walk behind weed rollers and estate sprayers. North Country Marketing has the sprayers you need for this season, and we ship anywhere. Contact North Country Marketing toll free or visit us at northcountrymarketing.biz.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Quality is not a word we take lightly. From the materials we use down to the details, it's always been about building something the right way. That's how you know it's a true Minn Kota window.
Well, welcome everyone to this week's portion of Ag Week Weather, and tonight I want to start off by talking about the drought monitor across the continental U.S. And as you can see, compared to the past few weeks, there has been a lot of improvement in the northern plains. It has been as dry. We've seen periods of showers and storms, producing at least some heavy rainfall across the northern plains, even down into the southern plains, seeing some heavy rain in Texas and Oklahoma. Meanwhile, out west, that drought does continue across California, and that's going to persist for quite some time. But it does appear like there is going to be some rain down into parts of California. But a little bit closer look at the northern plains, you can see there are some areas that are still dry, but it does look like we are going to see chances for showers and storms at least through the next couple of weeks. But as we look at the pattern for the overall summer, June through August, we are looking at least much of the country seeing warmer than average temperatures, especially across the west. California all the way up to parts of Washington, Oregon, even into Canada, seeing well above average temperatures. Meanwhile, the Central Plains going to see near or maybe a little bit below average temperatures because of active systems coming through. That's going to bring a lot of rain, so likely to see above average rainfall into parts of the Central Plains. But as we go into this week, we are looking at the jet stream here now. You can see the polar jet stream. That's going to stay to the north, and that's going to allow for systems to stay up across Canada. Meanwhile, the subtropical jet is well down to the south, but it looks like the eastern seaboard going to see some active weather. That's also going to keep them a bit cooler. Meanwhile, a lot of upper level ridging building in. That's going to allow for some pretty warm temperatures for the upcoming week across the plains before we start to see a little dip in the jet stream. And that means some active weather going into the weekend. That means showers and storms, possibly some heavy rainfall. So as we take a look at this week's outlook, we are going to see overall drier than normal conditions down across the southeast, aside from some pop-up showers and storms stretching up into the northern plains. But I think there will be some active weather at least going into the weekend. Meanwhile, the Pacific Northwest staying pretty rainy. There may be some rain going into parts of California, which is good news because they are still in that drought. And again, the southeast staying dry aside from a few showers and storms building up during that afternoon heating, which is typical for the summertime. And New England staying at least a little bit active. Meanwhile, we will see hit or miss storms through the next couple of weeks, which is typical of some summer weather. But again, to reiterate, we are going to see warmer than average temperatures across much of the continental U.S. and then some hit or miss storms during the next couple of weeks, and that actually will continue throughout the summertime. Maybe some heavy rainfall, but the overall trend for us is going to be for some drier than average weather.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Agweek magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Agweek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted, Agweek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
We believe in a fair and balanced approach to state and federal regulation. Proposed changes to OSHA's anhydrous ammonia policy, EPA's Waters of the U.S., the Clean Air Act, and endangered species are a few examples of what we are facing. The one-size approach doesn't work for North Dakota. Agriculture Commissioner Doug Goring wants to work with you to protect our state. Go to our website to see the latest issues that affect not only agriculture today, but for future generations.
Commitment. You need it to succeed on the farm. It's total dedication to the land, family, and community. It's more than a way to make a living. It's a way of life. You've had it since the first time you ran your hands through the soil, helped bale hay, or rode along in the combine. Your commitment. It's as strong as your family's trust, as honest as each long day you put in, and as pure as the opportunity that comes with every tomorrow. It's how we build our bins. With proven design, superior structural integrity, a lifetime warranty, and a promise to stand with you, no matter what storms come your way. The harvest will always be protected, so you can sell when it's right for you, your family, and your farm. Commitment. It's why we can say, there's nothing standard about superior.
AgweekTV, sponsored by Peterson Farm Seed.
North Dakota's ag community is clashing over Measure 1. It would weaken the state's long-standing ban on corporate farming by allowing a domestic corporation or limited liability company to own or lease up to 640 acres for a dairy farm or swine production facility. Supporters say the change would help North Dakota's struggling dairy and hog industries. Opponents say it would hurt family farms. Jonathan Knutson weighs in with his thoughts on Measure 1.
North Dakotans will soon vote on Measure 1. If approved, it would weaken the state's long-standing ban on corporate farming. Supporters say it would add flexibility and help farmers change with the times. Opponents say it would hurt family farms and rural communities. I'm interested in several ways. As an ag journalist, as a person who likes history and economics, and as a native North Dakotan raised on a family farm. I'm ambivalent about Measure 1. Family farms are important to me. I want them to play an active leading role in modern ag. Measure 1, if approved, could compromise that. But the reality is, farming and family farms have been evolving for generations. They need to continue to evolve. Measure 1 would help that happen. The results of Measure 1 might not always be pretty or pleasant, but the alternative is even less attractive. For Ag Week, I'm Jonathan Knutson.
North Dakotans will vote on Measure 1 June 14th. Still ahead on AgweekTV, rodeo season kicks off.
How did we become the region's largest independent seed company? By taking a very simple but powerful stand. We will sell no seed that we wouldn't be happy to plant on our own farm. Peterson Farm Seed. Stand tall.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
The North Dakota Soybean Council invests checkoff dollars to increase soybean demand, increase yields, and open new markets. The soybean checkoff has resulted in stronger prices and higher yielding varieties. Checkoff dollars fund research to bring solutions to farmers' greatest production challenges. Global demand for North Dakota soybeans for human consumption, animal feed, and commercial use has never been greater. Checkoff dollars, investing in a profitable future for North Dakota soybean farmers.
Time to demand more. With Micro Essentials, you get more from every acre. Through our fusion technology, only Micro Essentials combines 4 vital nutrients into one powerful granule, ensuring uniform nutrient distribution and increased nutrient uptake. The innovation behind our fusion technology means you'll grow stronger, healthier plants. Micro Essentials. Get more from every acre.
The rodeo season is on. These pictures are from the 14th annual Wessington Springs Foothills Rodeo last weekend. It's the unofficial kickoff to the South Dakota Rodeo Association season. The competition features all the usual rodeo events, including bareback, saddle bronc, tie-down roping, steer wrestling, team roping, ladies barrel racing, and of course, bull riding. Here's Angelo Shepard of West Fargo taking his shot at it. This week's photo is from Troy Olson. He woke up to a light layer of snow covering his fields on May 13th. The picture was taken near Langdon, North Dakota. Send us your pictures to photos@agweek.com. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com. We'll see you next week.